Hey people, this character sort of sucks.
Alright!
Today I wanted to make a quick little video about Flare. If you guys don't know, this character was at the top of the re-roll tier list. This was the character that people were re-rolling their accounts completely for. And this is probably debatably the worst 5-star in the game. And I'm gonna just go over that quite quickly. You know, I know a lot of people might be surprised by this, but it's sort of about the general meta of the teams of this game. So generally, this game sort of revolves around a system of support, destroyer, and DPS. The main thing about like a destroyer is that they inflict stagger damage. Support's supposed to like increase the general damage of the team, and the DPS is supposed to be the shebang, if you know what I mean. Now, however, though, it's sort of been made a little bit apparent that a lot of the destroyers aren't really equal. And a lot of people had really high hopes for Flare, maybe just because of their character. I know a lot of people find her quite appealing and funny. The fact that she sort of sanctimoniously talks down to you and stuff like that. But another big factor is that she was the only 5-star destroyer, as you can see in the top right there. However, her sort of like main features sort of go against the sort of combat system of the game, right? That is being that her whole thing is about being off field. And the thing about that is being off field, you have like a 50% damage reduction, alright? And another part of her kit is about being on field. So typically you want to do like this and then continue to attack whilst the dragon's up to make the most out of your stagger. Now the main problem here is that she hits like a wet noodle. A lot of the other characters just simply out damage her completely, namely characters like say Ellie, the Earth one, who can almost function completely off field. All you really need to do is switch into her, use her skill and her ult, and switch back out, and you'll get an insane amount of stagger damage as she stays on field for what seems to be several seconds, much more than any other of the members of the cast. She actually technically heals as well, and yeah, she's debatably the best destroyer in the game. Reyna here has impressive amounts of damage. As long as you sort of switch off her sort of defense scaling path, she has tremendous amounts of damage and burst damage. She like just pops up into the field, bursts, and you can switch back off for her. She just inflicts an insane amount of damage. Same with Cloud. He does like an insane amount of burst damage. That like basically means you can just switch into him, pop your your ult and your special skill, and then you can switch back to your DPS after releasing all of his crystals, and he has insane damage. Now, Flare hits like a wet noodle. Her suppression damage is insanely bad, and yeah, she's probably debatably one of the worst destroyers in the game. Similar to this new character, Nagi, who is debatably second up worst destroyer in the game. And the reason why that is she demands a lot of on-field presence to kick off a lot of her skills and get her abilities going. Oops. And she's more of an AoE person. She's more of a main DPS rather than getting off like a quick burst and moving out. She has this defense reduction ult, which is probably the best part of her kit, but also it sort of functions like Flare, where you sort of want to be on field to get all the suppression damage off before switching out, or it's going to be nerfed as there's this low lingering sort of seed thing. Flare also has a defense reduction, but it's the same situation where she sort of wants to be on field for it, and it's incredibly short. Like, Flare's is 8 seconds. Our friend here is like 12 seconds. That's how different they are, right? And the thing is there's like just this character here, Yanhua, who like generally can just take the spots of these characters. Because if we look at here, we have defense reduction 25% for 2 seconds from just having her support you. So a lot of characters like can just switch into or switch back out, get the defense reduction. It lasts not that long, but it is a bigger defense reduction than this one, and it's a bigger defense reduction than this one as well. It's like 5, right? Which is just terrible, right? So these two characters' biggest selling points is sort of being like mogged by this other character that doesn't need to be on field at all. And this is sort of caused, like, these are like the fire and the wind characters. A lot of people just use Mina base as she does enough stagger damage to sort of act like a destroyer of herself. So a lot of people will use Mina and like Angel over using Flare with like some kind of support on top of that. And the same thing goes with Wind. A lot of people are just using like Esser and like Bonnie and as well as G1, right? Over like just using Nagi because her defense reduction sucks. And if they're not using Bonnie, they're using Yanhua. If they're not using Yanhua, they're still using like, wow, I can't find Francis. Where the fuck is fucking Francis, right? Oh, there she is. Yeah, people are using Francis, who is just another buffer that increases the attack of the main DPS because these characters demand so much on-field time to do stagger damage and do everything that they want to do. It's just sort of mocked by the sheer DPS capabilities of like Mina or say Esser, right? Like it just, these characters love being on field way more than Flare and like Nagi, right? So it's just, they're just completely mocked. It's a very difficult situation, you know. I think this character had a lot of potential. A lot of us wanted like a destroyer as well.
Like what you see.
And I'm not saying the character is completely useless. I mean, if you don't have Yanhua, you don't have Bonnie maxed out yet, Nagi is like a sort of side grade, if you know what I mean. If anything, I'm not saying that these characters are completely mocked by the 4 stars that can replace them, but you're really giving up healing.
Need a prescription?
For Nagi, if you know what I mean.
Like what you see.
And those more difficult, like
Need a prescription?
far end legendary conquest and like the dimensional rift, healing goes a long way. Even Nare is sometimes like a lot better than using Nagi or Flare, you know. Like you're really giving up a lot by even putting these characters in the
Like
team,
what you
unless
say.
they're the main DPS, which
Mission
they do
start.
not do
What's our
nowhere
plan for
near
today?
enough damage as Mina or say Esser,
It's a
right?
good day for
So
some cleaning.
they're sort of stuck in a weird spot, right? It's just sort of a shame. And yeah, let me know what you guys think. This is just the sort of talk of the town.
Mine-
I'm not saying, and I'm coming from the experience that I have. You know, her like signature weapon, and the defense reduction increases at A1, which is okay. It sort of puts her at the same state as Nagi, but there's no real like massive increase in potential. And same goes with Nagi. Like, this is slightly okay because it allows you to buff another character. That gives them like a slight attack buff with wind, I believe. But none of this really significantly increases her like ability to help others other than the A6. I believe like slightly increases their buff to other people, or A2 basically. But yeah, so that's why a lot of people are believing are probably going to skip Nagi or have
Like
skipped
what you
Nagi.
see.
I think this is the last few days of her banner. But yeah, no, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you guys think. It's just a little bit of discussion about why people are pretty disappointed with
Mission
Nagi and
start.
Flare. And yeah, let me know what you guys think. Like, comment, subscribe, share this around with your Mongil Star Dive buddies, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Ciao, ciao.